Good afternoon, Christine.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for inviting us to be here to record this. For those who are just watching for the first time, would you tell us who you are and your connection with this organization and what this is all about?
Yes, so my name is Christine Bautista and I'm the founder and head organizer of this Filipino festival. So this started last year when I was still working at the mayor's office.
Yes.
So it was a self-initiative program because Malden is a very diverse community and I see that there's no Filipino festival going on. So I was like, I think it's a good time to have like the Filipino festival to introduce the Filipino cultural heritage to the community.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I think all of these ethnic groups that come together, we get a chance to learn much more about one another and discover that we have much more in common than we have in difference. So what's gonna go on here this afternoon that's gonna help enlighten people?
Yeah, so this will be a 3-hour program. Last year it was only a 2-hour program, but this year it's
This is 3 hours.
Yes, 3 hours. So we have like arts and crafts.
Yes.
So there's gonna be they're gonna do like sipa. It's like the hacky sacky. If you know that game, it's like hacky sacky.
No, tell someone like me who doesn't know much about that. Tell me what that's about.
Sipa is like you have this. I forgot what you call it, and then you use your foot in kicking the thing, or your elbow. That's what they do in the Philippines. And we have like Filipino cuisine, so such as like lumpiang Shanghai, pancit, turon. Halo-halo, it's a famous dessert in the Philippines.
Okay.
And we have cultural performances like tinikling, where you use the bamboo sticks.
Okay.
There will also be other dances like dance of floral garlands. We call it bulaklakan. And there's an arnis demonstration. It's a national sport and martial arts of the Philippines.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So tell us about you. Where were you born? Were you born here?
No, I was born in the Philippines.
Okay, what part of the Philippines?
I live in Manila. It's the center.
Manila, okay.
It's the center of the Philippines. Yeah, it's the center of I think it's Luzon. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's Luzon.
Yeah, and I moved here with my husband because my husband studied his MBA here in Boston.
Okay.
So I moved here in 2011 after we got married. And after we got married, we moved here because he was already working here in the.
I see.
Yeah, and I started working for the mayor's office in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think would be the most important thing that people should know about Filipino culture?
Yes, so Filipinos are very hospitable,
Yes, okay.
and the Philippines being it has lots of influence, like Spanish influence, Chinese influence, and most of, like our food, it's like the one I mentioned earlier, it's pancit. Yeah, it's influenced by the Chinese, like the noodles. So Filipinos are very hospitable, and we're also very diverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
I have been. Yes. Yes, when I was in the Navy.
Oh.
And I've been to Manila and enjoyed all that that culture had to offer.
Yeah. My grandfather was a U.S. veteran.
He was a U.S. veteran. Well, and speaking of that, I know that the people of the Philippines were very instrumental in allying with the American forces during the war.
Yeah.
And I don't know that many Americans of today know that. I mean, the Philippine people were very instrumental in who was it? General MacArthur who said, what did General MacArthur say?
I shall return.
I shall return. That's right. He shall return. And so, yes, I have a great affinity for the Philippines.
That's good to hear.
And I'm glad to be here to participate in all of this. And,
and we're glad to have you as well here.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, and best of luck with this great festival.
Right.
Thank you very much.
You.
Mayor, how are you?
Good.
I'm fine.
Good.
Fine. Another celebration that we're at.
Can never have enough.
That's right. We can never have enough. There is so much to learn about each other, huh?
Right, and what I've learned over the years, music, food, and arts. There's no better way of bringing people together.
Absolutely.
Particularly the food.
Well,
You saw my cooking show, right?
No, you do much better than than I do, Gary. But no, I just think that all of these ethnic celebrations that we go through, we just learn so much more about one another. We learn that we're so much more alike than we are different.
It's like this week, the celebration of Juneteenth.
Yes.
I would have never known about that if it wasn't for the organizers bringing that to Malden.
Yeah. And the questions that I've been asking some of the people that I was interviewing earlier was, what would you hope that people learn about, people who are non-Filipino, that would learn about the culture and the history and so forth? And I, like your dad, are of the age old enough to be in the military, who are over in the Philippines and know, the connection that the people of the Philippines have had with the American troops during World War II.
Right. And my dad told me, listen, the point of all this, as I was saying the other night, we're supposed to learn, grow, and make the world a better place. And this, to me, is the way you do that.
Yes, absolutely. And isn't it nice to hear that they started out last year with a 2-hour celebration. It was so successful now that they've gone to 3 hours with this. And
you could already feel it. I mean, as soon as you open up the door, you can feel the energy.
Absolutely.
In the second year, I always think is the harder one. The first year, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
But for what they've been able to do from what I'm seeing on the second year, hats off to them.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Hey, and hats off to you for doing this. This is a Saturday afternoon. You've done it all. You could sit back on your laurels and you're here promoting all our cultures.
I'm glad to do this. I just think it's so important. I mean, you and I have both lived in this city all of our life.
Right.
And how wonderful it is to see the growth and the change and the assimilation of all these different people into the city, and the welcomingness of that. There are some cities who aren't comfortable with the diverse population.
Right. Yeah, I've had people move into the city, and they say what they really like about Malden is that there is no minority majority. It's like evenly split across the city on any given day.
Yeah.
You really feel like you're in the world. And so for me, who doesn't travel much, it's probably one of the great things that I get to experience it all right here in 5 square miles.
Yeah, and I just think we're so fortunate to have lived and grown up here in the city of Malden, because I think Malden has been a city that even throughout all of our country's racial turmoil, we didn't experience that kind of turmoil here in the city.
Right.
I mean, where there were divisions, there were people that came together that wanted to bring us closer together.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I'm hearing from the people moving in. That's one of the things I like about Malden. They feel good every time they wake up about what our city is and where it's going.
Yeah, I think I know that here in the greater Boston area, there is a reputation that we have for being unfriendly. Even entertainers that come to perform in Boston will say that, the audience just doesn't respond the way, to our music, to our jokes, to our talking, the way it happens in other places. You all are just cold and are unfeeling. So that's our general reputation. So for me, I often will ask people of color who move in here, how is Malden? How is Malden, and how are you feeling about your welcomeness here? Are you feeling at home? Are you feeling welcome? Or are you feeling like you're an outsider?
Yeah.
And more often than not, what I get is very, very positive response from people saying, this is really a great place to be living.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the restaurants we recently opened: Mediterranean, Haitian Creole, and Caribbean.
Yes.
All in a matter of weeks.
Yes. You hear people say, well, I feel comfortable in walking our streets, whether it's during the daytime or early evening. I feel comfortable in going every place, and that's a testament to you and I, my friend.
All of us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
My name's Joe Bolandrina, and my co-MC Kay Vito by my side. We are honored to welcome you all to the 2nd annual Philippine Festival of Malden. Do me a favor, give everybody a round of applause! Woo! All right, one of the first things I want to do is introduce Nicole Baltazar. She's one of the organizers of the festival. She's also attending UMass Boston, and she has a little introduction of herself she'd like to give. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Baltazar.
Hello, my name is Nicole, and I'd like to thank all of you for coming. This is the second annual Filipino Festival, and we're bigger now, actually. As a prelude to the Filipino Festival, we had 3 screenings of the film Sunday Beauty Queen. So the first one was in the POW Arts Center, the second one was in Harvard, and the third one was at the Walden Senior Center. So Sunday Beauty Queen was one of the entries to the Metro Manila Film Festival over a year ago, and it's actually the first Filipino documentary to be selected as part of the festival and had won the Best Picture. And then it gained several recognitions and awards both locally and internationally. So the documentary film shows the real story on how overseas Filipino workers manage to cope with the daily challenges so they can support and provide for their families in the Philippines. And yeah, that's about it.
Thank you very much, Nicole. And now I have the honor to bring on here the inspiration for everybody here, because even though she started this last year, she's not local anymore, but that doesn't mean she's not the pulse of this whole entire organization we got going on right now. So ladies and gentlemen, please let me introduce Christine Bautista. Put your hands together.
Good afternoon, everyone. So Jose Rizal, one of the great heroes of the Philippines, once said, "The Filipino embraces civilization and lives and thrives in every clime, in contact with every people." How amazing and incredible this is that he, Jose Rizal, someone who lived more than 100 years ago, predicted how Filipinos would live and thrive across the globe. More than 10 million people live and work outside the Philippines, and of that, 1.9 million are here in the United States, including myself and my family. We bring with us our rich culture and history, building and adding to the foundation set by our forefathers. Look around you. As you start exploring, you might perhaps start asking, what is halo-halo? What is sipa? What is sari manok? Who dances tinikling? What does it mean to be a Filipino? In the next 3 hours, I encourage you to explore, look at the different arts and dances, listen to our songs, get a taste of our food, experience a glimpse of the Philippines, and hopefully you get answers to these questions and more. Learn how rich and diverse of culture we have, and ultimately get to know us Filipinos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Filipino Festival here in Malden. And before we start with the program, we would like to acknowledge the presence of Mayor Gary Christensen, the Mayor of Malden.
Kumusta ka? Kumusta ka? Kumusta po ako si Gary Christensen? I just want to join the Dean of the City Council, Neil Anderson, who's off to my left, and say thank you to Christine Bautista, Nicole Baltazar, and Ronnie Puzan, and everybody else here for bringing this wonderful festival to Malden. We would have been completely satisfied with the first annual. The fact that you're back with the second and next year the third, we just want to say how grateful we are for you to bring this to our community. That deserves a round of applause for them. Now, we get asked all the time, what program, what policy, what things can you do to make Malden and the world a better place? None. It's events like this that are going to make our city, our country, and the world a better place. So I want to say thank you once again for bringing us some música, some paquin, and some sining. And I also want to just say to all of you here this afternoon, thank you for participating in this wonderful event. As they say, salamat.
Thank you. That's Mayor Gary Christensen, and we do have a token of our gratitude to you, kind sir, for all the support you give us.
This is a painting by Brenda Tatlong. He's a Filipino-based, Boston-based artist.
Thank you very much. And as I mentioned, I do have a co-host, so you don't have to just listen to me. My co-host is Kay Vito. She's a member of the Philippine Apostolate of Boston for 5 years, a physical therapist. She works at BCH in the neurology department, and she is from Manila. So, Kay, why don't you come out here and introduce?
Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, so we're gonna do to start everything. We're gonna start with a national anthem for the Philippines. So I'm gonna call in our beloved singer for that, JC Pagulong. So everybody, please stand up.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manulupig. Di ka pasisiil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo'y bughaw. May dilag ang tula at awit sa paglay minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na natininig. Ang bituin at daranay kalam, pamay di magdidilim. Lupay ng araw ng hatid pang sita, langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Well, hello, I'm Neil.
Hi, my name is Nicole Baltazar.
Nicole Baltazar.
Yes.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Would you tell me what your association with this organization is, please?
Oh, okay. So I'm the co-organizer of the Filipino Festival.
The co-organizer,
yes,
okay.
Yes. Christine and I met at the mayor's office because she was working there and then I was an intern.
Okay.
And so we met there and, you know, we talked about, oh, let's have like a Filipino festival.
Yes.
Yeah, and so, we started last year. It was the first Filipino festival. It was a huge turnout. About 400 people came. We were only expecting around 200 to 300 people.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of people came. Yeah.
And so tell me about your background. Were you born in the main? So what do we refer to this as? This is because the Philippines are now an independent country, but for a long time, wasn't the Philippines a possession of the United States government at one point?
Yeah, at one point, after the World War II.
After World War II, yes.
Yeah, because they got the Philippines back from Spain. And so that's the reason why English is our second language. The Americans built hospitals and school in the Philippines.
Yes.
And we made English our second language. Classes are taught in English and all that. But I was born and raised in the Philippines, and then I came here in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, with my sister and my family, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. And what part of the Philippines were you born in?
Well, I was born in the countryside, but I grew up in Manila.
Manila,
yeah,
okay.
Which is the capital.
Luzon, okay.
Yeah, Luzon.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, there are 3 main islands in the Philippines, so Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. But then, if you count all the islands, I think there's 7,107 islands in the Philippines right now. I think they added more. I think they added like 600 more. But when I was growing up, I was always told that the Philippines had 7,107 islands. low tide, but if it's high tide, it's 7,106 islands.
I see.
Yes.
I see. So what would you like people who are watching this program to know about the Philippines and the people of the Philippines?
Oh, okay. So
what are we hoping to? What information are we hoping to transmit here?
I think the information we're hoping to transmit is that, you know, the Philippines is a beautiful country.
It is.
It's a very tropical country.
It is that.
Yes, and we're very humble people. We're very welcoming. So there's a lot of American tourists who go there, and they would always say, "Oh, Filipinos are nice. They're very accommodating." And we also want to share our culture. The Spaniards occupied us for like 300 years, so a lot of places, a lot of churches. There's a lot of Spanish churches in the Philippines, and also our cuisine is like almost similar to Spanish cuisine. But aside from that, Chinese and also Malay colonized us. Well, they immigrated to our country.
So it was who first? The Spaniards?
Well, first was the Malay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm not really sure about the order, but so it's Malay, Chinese, Spanish. Spanish is the longest. Yeah, Spanish is the longest.
So a blend of all of that.
Blend of all of that.
Yes, a blend of all of that.
Countries and also Spain.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah, I was there in the Philippines during the war in Vietnam, and the Philippines was our home port in Subic Bay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in Subic Bay.
Yeah,
so
Subic,
I was there and traveled to Manila and witnessed all that you talked about. Witnessed all of the hospitality of the people of the Philippines, and the warmth of the not only the countryside but of the people, and so so it's a pleasure.
Do you know the word boondocks?
No, tell me what that means.
Well, it means boondocks is like
Boondocks.
Yeah, boondocks.
Okay.
It's like the countryside. Yeah,
Okay.
but it came from the Filipino word called bundok, which means mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's an English word.
Oh yes, yes. Okay. So yeah, in the boondocks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the
All right.
boondocks, yeah.
In the countryside.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
And thank you for your effort in reaching out. I just think that it's so important that we learn about one another.
Yeah.
That when we learn about one another's culture, we learn that we're so much more alike than we are different.
Yes.
You know,
I
agree. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It was a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, and best of luck in this great celebration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you know what I'm going to do right now is make sure that everybody knows how many different booths there are out there, because anything from BKP, Escuela Filipino, all the different kitchens, all the different booths and vendors here, we definitely daghan salamat for your attendance, and I'm hoping, is everybody getting their fair share of food out there? Is everybody hungry? I'm hoping you're getting fed because we got the booths out there. Okay, well I'll tell you what, I definitely appreciate everybody's patience. We did have a little bit of a late start, but one of the little, what shall I say, clerical notes I want to share is that there are several food vendors all along the outside here, several, so I don't want anybody to think that there's just one giant cha-cha line for one booth. So make sure you all know what lines you're in, because there's plenty of booths, there's plenty of vendors, martial arts. We've got a great show going on today. As a matter of fact, for the first musical performance, I think we're ready for a group here by Lex and AJ Jimenez. And if you guys are ready, they're gonna do a special performance of Shout for Joy by Gary V. Anybody know Gary V out there? Yeah, you got some Gary V fans? Well, we're gonna have a rendition right now. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for a musical performance by Lex and AJ Jimenez.
Alright guys, thank you so much for your patience as we figure out the sound system over here. My name is Lex, this is my sister AJ, and we're just super honored to be a part of the Filipino Fiesta. Clearly I'm speaking English, so I'm very Americanized, but I am definitely proud to be Pinoy. And we definitely wanted to start start off today. I know the weather's not the greatest and stuff, but we still feel so joyful and grateful to be here. And so we wanted to just start off and sing a song, praising Jesus for the time that we have here and the way that He's just brought us all together as a community of Filipinos. So we hope you enjoy our performance.
Thank you very much. That's some good talent. I like feeling young. And just to review, that was Lex and AJ Jimenez. And
Hey.
Well, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fine. My name is Neil. What is your name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. It's very nice to meet you, Jeffrey.
Nice to meet you.
Do you have an official role, Jeffrey, in this organization?
Yeah, I'm part of the committee.
Part of the committee.
Yeah,
Okay.
that worked, and we helped together, and there we go.
Okay.
We're ready
Okay.
to roll.
So, what do you do, Jeffrey, when you're not organizing annual events here?
Well, I work full time.
Yes.
I work in the IT industry.
Okay.
And I just graduated from UMass last year.
Okay.
And now I'm pursuing my master's at Harvard. So
I see.
hopefully everything's gonna work together and
And
work
you're
very well.
so you graduated UMass.
Yeah.
With a degree in
political science.
Political science.
Yeah,
Okay.
I graduated magna cum laude. So
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And now on to graduate study at
Harvard.
At Harvard.
Master's in international relations.
Great.
Yeah.
So, what are you hoping will be the result of an annual celebration like this?
Yeah. Well, hopefully people here in Malden or anywhere, all the people that knows about it,
Yes.
they will see the Filipino culture, like
Yes.
our dance, food, so they can try.
Yeah, okay.
So that would be good for them to know about the Filipino culture.
Yes, yes. And how about the history of the Philippines and the people of the Philippines? Can you talk a little bit about that and how it relates to America?
Well, the Filipinos, we're like similar to South America because
Yes.
the Philippines was under the Spanish
Yes.
rule for 350 years.
Yes.
And then we had our independence, and then the Americans came, help us, and then the Japanese. So we're like under, first we were under...
You were colonized.
Yeah, we were
That's right.
colonized by the Spanish,
Yes.
and then the Americans, and then the Japanese.
Yes.
And now we have our independence, and
Yes.
we're free.
And I know that there was a great alliance during World War II
Yep.
between the people of the Philippines and the American allies.
That's true.
That there was a great kinship and help with all that.
Yeah, when General Douglas MacArthur came.
Yes.
Well, he came back.
That's right. He said,
left,
"I
and he
shall
said, I shall
return."
return. Yeah, that's the most
Yes, he shall.
popular.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
Yeah, because of the Americans, we are free.
Yes, and as I recall, that there was a great deal of Filipino. There was a lot of resistance to the Japanese, and a lot of the what do we call it? Where the Filipino people were able to give intelligence back to the American troops, and
Yeah, there are a lot of we work together because
Work
the
together,
Filipinos
that's exactly
wants
right.
Independence,
yes,
and then we can't fight it by ourselves. So
correct.
The good thing is the Americans came and they helped us.
Okay.
So that's really good. I mean, people in the Philippines owes a lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And Americans owe a lot to the people of the Philippines.
I think
so.
that's
I
true,
think
too.
so. I think it works both ways.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tell me about this great looking shirt that you have on.
So this
is
is
that
our-
something?
This
Is that a
our
cultural shirt?
Natural.
Okay.
Cultural.
The bamboo.
Yeah, this is we call it Barong Tagalog.
Okay.
This is our national costume in the Philippines.
This is your national costume. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If there's a Filipino party or any other like party that you show your
Any celebration where you're formally getting dressed.
That's true.
This
yeah.
is what you would wear. Okay.
Yeah, this is what we wear. So it's a national costume of the Philippines.
Well, you wear it quite well.
Thank you.
Quite well, and
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here, and thank you for helping to organize this, and we wish you much success in this celebration.
Well-
Is there anything else you'd like to add? Is there anything that I haven't been wise enough to ask you that I should have asked that you'd like to say?
Oh, have you tried the Filipino food?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, there's gonna
well,
be a
I
lot.
haven't here today,
Yeah.
but when I was in the military, I was in the Philippines.
Oh,
Yes, I was in the Navy.
In the
I was
Navy,
in
okay.
Subic Bay
oh.
during the Vietnam War, and while there, of course, I, like all the sailors, learned to enjoy this great, not only the great hospitality of the people of the Philippines, but the food and the culture and the rest of that. So it's a real pleasure for me to be here today.
Oh, that's good. Well, thank you for coming here also. And
Okay.
if you want to remember or you want to eat food again, there's going to be a lot of
There's a lot of it along there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Coming up next, we got Karaoke of Tatlong, Bibe, Three Ducks, by Mateo, Nina, Anyo, Nico, Christina, JC, and Jefferson. So if I can call you guys up to stage, you guys are going to be next performing for us all. And I'm glad everybody's eating. Or else, if you're not eating, your anticipation's real close because that line is moving. So bear with us just a moment. Call the karaoke up next.
Okay, everyone, we're introducing again our next performance while you're busy with everything, with food and everything out there. But please put your attention in the stage to the front for our performers doing a karaoke of Tatlong Bibe or Three Ducks by Mateo, Nina, Anya, Nico, JC, and Jefferson.
Thank you very much. You guys are priceless. Have another round of applause for these guys stepping up. That's what I love about the youth. You know that the Filipino when it was young and strong, so it's going to keep on going. They're going to keep on filling this Malden place here, huh? You guys going to be doing this for the second, third, fourth, fifth annual? There you go.
Tell me what your name is.
My name's Joe Bolandrina. I'm going to be the co-MC tonight.
Oh, well, very good, Joe. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And what a great, I'm told that's a costume.
Barong Tagalog. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Can you describe what that is? And
well, it's actually made from, I believe, see, now this is it. I'll start out the whole thing by saying, I am not as Filipino as I look. I am a Filiposer.
Filiposer. Tell me, describe that for me, Joe.
I was born in Chicago.
Okay, all right.
Mom's from Bohol, my dad's from Surigao, so
okay.
I guess you consider first generation here.
Okay.
Let me see. Chicago was really no real time up to 1 year old, and then I was up to about 5 years old in New Jersey, and then the rest of the time here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Okay.
Been back home in the Philippines maybe half a dozen times.
Okay.
I got a Filipino wife.
Okay.
My kids go to Escuelahang Filipino, so we try to make them understand as much about the tradition, why Grandma's kitchen smells like Grandma's kitchen, why Grandma has the rules that Grandma has, and keep Filipino alive in them.
Great.
And since then, my older ones have gone back on their own. So I guess they love being Filipino too.
Good for you. Good for you. Do you live here in Malden?
No, I actually live way out in Douglas, Mass.
Okay.
But being Filipino means you gotta travel.
We won't hold that against you. But we're glad to have you here in Malden. So as I asked you about your costume, you started to tell me that well, I'm not a subject matter expert. I think that's what you were getting ready to say.
That's right. This is secondhand information that I know because well, Escuelahang Filipino is a nonprofit in Bedford, and it's kindergarten through 12, culture, music, dance, art, cooking, things like that. We try to teach the kids. So once again, trying to keep the culture alive in them. So I'm exposed to a lot of lessons, but I feel like I'm not one of the parents. I'm also one of the students there.
Well, you know, what that says to me is very similar to the experience that most of us African Americans have experienced, and that is that for us, having been brought here, our ancestors brought here as slaves, our culture, our language, our history was severed, was taken away. So it was only after years of trying to reconnect with all of that we begin to reach back and learn about our culture. So I can't tell you about African culture other than what I've learned as a second or third generation of learning of that. So and I make no apologies for that for that either.
I do my best to catch up. I feel the love of the country. I never want my kids to wonder why they look different without understanding what the difference is. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going to go, that type of thing.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
As a matter of fact, my two youngest kids aren't able to attend right now because they're practicing for a performance tomorrow in Watertown as a precursor to a tour they're doing in Canada for 2 weeks in August.
Okay.
With the Escuelahang Filipino Rondalia group. They performed here last year, but because they're actually doing a gig tomorrow, they weren't able to do anything but practice today and not attend.
So while you're learning more about your origin and culture, we also want to want people who aren't Filipino to learn about the origin and culture. So it's a learning for all of us, huh?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that touched me about, well, not to keep on going back to Escuela Filipino, but I've been involved with that for 21, 22 years. So through the time, you see different things prosper. And one of the population increases that happened maybe like 10 years ago was a group called Wide Horizons. They're an adoption agency that helps American parents pick children from different displaced areas and bring them over. So there were a number of American parents who had Filipino children.
Yes.
They wanted their children to still stay in touch with their culture, even though they're now being raised by an American parents in America.
Yes, yes.
So it was a very interesting connection. And
yes.
These parents all became, as Filipino as they needed to be. Where they were embraced, endorsed, and some of them were performing, some of them would be cooking. They're just extending themselves beyond their comfort zone to be Filipino. It's all good.
And again, I'll make the connection between that and the African American experience is that it wasn't until probably the 50s that African Americans were beginning to feel proud of our difference. It was, like say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Up until that time it was, looked at by the measurement of the majority culture that black wasn't
compromised.
That's right. That's right. So we learned.
Come a long way,
we have come a long way. Thank you. Life is good. We're all living the dream, and very nice to have talked with you.
A pleasure.
Well, what we got coming up next is going to be Escuela Filipino. That's going to be another batch of kids, kind of a little bit older. They come from Bedford. They're about 42 years old. I have a lot of love for this organization. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Escuela Filipino.
PhilFest Malden 2018.
All right, so how is everyone doing? Are you full? Are you in line for food? Are you enjoying? All right, treat yourself with all our different tables here, starting with here on the right side, we have halo-halo, gulaman, and ice candy. We have ice cream there on the other table. We have barbecue on the next table, turon, all the Filipino delicacies, and all the rest of the other tables as well.
Well, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Tell me what your name
So
is.
happy. Mary Lou.
Mary
Lou.
Mary Lou. Hello,
Yes.
Mary Lou.
Hello.
Mary Lou, do you have an official connection to this organization?
Yes,
Tell me what that
actually.
is.
Well, me and Christine are really good friends.
Okay.
We're the one who's pretty much the mind of this plan was hers, but overall we were talking about it. And
Okay.
Here it is. It's our second year.
This is your second year.
Yes.
And what are you expecting to do here in the second year that you didn't do in the first year?
More acknowledging in other cultures that there are more people and diversity of of Malden. That's the most important thing that we would
I
like
see.
to emphasize.
I see.
The
I see.
diversity is amazing.
Would you tell us a little bit about who you are and your connection to this culture and ethnicity?
As I mentioned, we're friends. Me and Christine,
Yep.
we belong to the group. The idea of this one is for the festival itself is to sponsor or to incorporate other Filipino foundations that are supporting our country.
Yes.
So one of it would be today. It will be the Pinoy reading buddies. Well, they build libraries for children in the country. So we believe that literacy is the key to change things in the country. So I think that's one of the most important things that we would like to share.
Great. So what are we gonna see here today? I see we see food.
So many.
culture.
So there are so many foods. Obviously, for
Yes.
Filipino food, there are lots of business around Malden that we invited them, so they will be more acknowledged as well.
Oh.
And will be visible. One of them are the Karate Ongdong group. Bertucci is also from Medford, which is very, very kind.
Okay.
Crying Tiger actually were so very nice also and very generous to help us.
So
Crying Tiger is
would you
Thai.
go back to those again? Those businesses here in Malden? Which are they?
Crying Tiger is right on Ferry Street.
Yes.
It's a
Okay.
Thai restaurant.
Yes.
Which is newly open. Yung Dong Du, which is the martial arts group over
Okay.
there. They're from Malden.
Okay.
And some of our Eskolahang Filipino group, which is right there in the corner.
Yes.
These are the longest, what do you call this?
Longest
organizations that
Yep.
for Filipino children.
Okay.
So there have been 46 years. Actually, they'll have a concert tomorrow, so that will benefit the school as well.
So, is there something going on that brings the Filipino youngsters together to deal with learning more about the history and culture?
I think most definitely. I think that's the most important thing. The merging of different cultures. The intermarriage of different cultures is the most important thing. But longing to know more.
Yes.
Of, the base of your.
Yes.
Especially like for me, my children.
Yes.
My husband is American Chinese. So
Okay.
my children are like, Mama, we're so excited.
Okay.
They're Filipino. So knowing those things, what are the things that we use for games in the Philippines? and
Okay.
how we use them. There's no such thing as video, so it's all about nature.
So your husband is American Chinese, you said,
Correct. Yes.
and you, where were you born?
I was born in the Philippines.
Born in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been here 22 years.
Okay. Well, so you were a year old when you came here, I see. Yeah?
Pretty much.
And so with those different what language is spoken at home?
So in my home in
Your-
Malden,
no,
yeah.
here in Malden,
Here in
yes.
Malden, yes.
Yes.
We speak Filipino, which
Okay.
is Tagalog. So my
See?
children are bilingual, actually.
Okay.
And I do have my own dialect, so I try, but the English is, of course, is their main, but they can learn that outside. So it truly is more Tagalog in our.
Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. Yes. I know when I was growing up, there were so many people that came from countries with different languages that the family wanted them to just be able to speak English and so forth. And I think it's so important that you
Yes.
retain the culture, retain the language, the history, and all of that.
I think it's really the inner, that my voice will be more for my children as well.
Yes.
And the sense of belonging. I think that's the most important thing.
So what's the most important thing that you would hope non-Filipino people would learn about today in this celebration?
I think it's more the happiness and openness to people.
Happiness and openness,
yes,
okay.
Yeah, and that we're all together as one.
We are.
We are.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with this celebration. Thank you.
All right, our next performers will be Hoy Pinoy. They're gonna do a pandango sa ilaw or dance on a bench. So let's give them a round of applause.
That was Hoy Pinoy doing Pandang sa Ilaw. Thank you very much to them. Give another round of applause, because those guys really, they tear down. They always show up for these type of events. They're great supporters. They're proud to be Filipino, like just about everybody else who either brought a friend or is here standing in front of us right now. What I'd like to do right now is do an acknowledgement of the major sponsors and a short speech from our festival host. So I gotta get those guys on cue. One of our major sponsors that I really want to give a round of applause for is the Malden Cultural Council. Round of applause for the Malden Cultural Council. Also, the Greater Malden Asian American Community Coalition. All of the Asians covered on that one since 2015. Round of applause for them.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
It's
good.
nice to be here, and look at this this crowd that's here, bigger than last year and longer than last year.
Sure. Yep. It is.
So for the camera, tell your name and your role in the organization here.
Sure. It's my name is Ronnie Puzon. I'm one of the co-organizers on the organizing committee of the second annual Filipino Festival here in Malden. We had such a great success last year, so we decided to keep it going every year.
Good for you. Good for you. So, Ronnie, tell me a little bit about you and your background. Where were you born, and what inspired you to be involved in this kind of activity?
Sure, thanks. Yep. So, I was born here in the United States. My parents were from the Philippines, so I'm full Filipino, full-blooded Filipino. And so I grew up in Charlestown, and I've always remembered my roots, and just wanted to basically tell everybody and show everybody like the cultural diversity that we have in the Philippines, and kind of bring the culture here to Malden to everybody.
Yes, and so what are you hoping people will? If you had to think about 2 or 3 things which would be the highlights of what you would hope people would learn about today, what would they be?
Sure. So, I just like them to know that we're a fun crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Filipinos are very fun.
Yes.
We're very happy. We're very happy people. And we're on the hospitable basis. We're very hospitable. And we love to eat and we love to feed you. So our food's delicious. Hopefully, everybody here will have a chance to sample some of the food and some of the performances also.
But what makes you fun and happy?
Well, so. It's just the culture. It's in our culture.
Okay.
I guess the Philippines is a warm climate. So
it is.
The warm weather actually brings a lot of happiness in people. And it's just one of these things where we love to be together. And when you're together with friends, family, and non-family and potential friends and family, then it just makes an all-around happy environment.
Yes. Well, I certainly think that the more we learn about one another, the more we learn that we all have much more. We're all much more alike than we are different.
That's correct. Yep, I totally agree.
Yeah, we're much more alike than we are different.
I totally agree.
The people who are watching this and who come here today can learn something about the history of the Philippines. The colonization that you've gone through, that your people have gone through. Mm-hmm. Your connection with the American government.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I can remember, not that I lived through it, but knowing about the great connection that during World War II that the people of the Philippines had with the Allied troops. Mm-hmm. Working together connecting together and
and a lot of that culture that translated into the Filipino culture that we have with the Allied troops. And you'll see a lot of the similarities and a lot of the different cultures in our culture. But that's why we say the Filipino culture is pretty diverse also, and we have a lot of influence.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Great. Thank you, Council.
Good luck today.
And I'm actually going to call someone forward here. Pardon me. And I know that, you'll know him from up here, the Remax Trinity sign there. But I'll tell you something else that I'm very proud to know about this gentleman. He is a 6-star medal awardee. What does that mean? Berlin, London, New York City, Chicago, Boston, and Tokyo. This gentleman has run a marathon in all 6 of them. So ladies and gentlemen, wait, Ronnie. Ronnie's taking a picture, so I can't ask him out on stage right now. He's smiling. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ronnie Puzon.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks very much. All right, so I'm Ronnie Puzon, co-owner of the Remax Trinity here in Malden. And I just want to thank everybody here for coming. It's a really big deal to have the second annual Filipino Festival take off, and all you guys are here. It's awesome. This is great. So give yourselves a round of applause. Also, more importantly, I want to thank the Malden YMCA for giving us this venue, donating the venue to us. It's great. I mean, it's housing all you people in here too, which is nice. So thanks very much, Malden YMCA. So the food line is still long. I think it's getting shorter. So there's ice cream over here, so it's great. We have the arts. We have more performances coming up here for you guys. Also, please speak to the vendors here. They're here. Please support them and talk to them. So thanks very much for everybody coming.
Thanks, Ronnie. You're a good man. You make me smile often. I want to be like that guy. I want to be like that guy.
And hello to you.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am fine.
All
My
right.
name is Neil, and
Hi,
your
Neil.
name?
My name is Kay.
Kay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's very nice to talk with you.
Yes,
Kay, do you have an official role in this organization?
Yes, I'm actually co-hosting with Tito Joe Bolandrina for this event. So he's the main host. I'm just on the sideline, and I'm just gonna help him out with the hosting job.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So have you been involved in organizing celebrations like this before?
So I am a part of the Filipino Apostolate in Malden. I mean in Boston, Filipino Apostolate.
Okay.
Yeah, the Filipino Catholic community of Boston.
I see.
And I'm very much active in church activities. And as part of that, we get events like this on the side who taps us for our services and to grab more audience and let them know that a specific event is upcoming, like something like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so what do you hope will come out of a celebration like this?
I am seeing a lot of diversity right now. I was here last year when this was first launched.
Okay.
So last year was, it's always like you trial and error. You'll know after the first time if it's gonna go fly or just maybe let's try again. But last year was highly successful. I love seeing a lot of different cultures joining together and witnessing actual Filipino communities and culture and all that. And this year, what I'm trying to see is more of the people realizing how we are so diverse, yet we can be also united with everything, with the community, with service, with food, with culture and all that. So I love seeing that it's not all Filipinos right now in here.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great mix of people.
Definitely.
And I think you've picked a great city to come and participate in.
I love this city. This is my home.
This is your home. Do you live here in Malden?
I live here in Malden.
And how long have you been here in Malden?
So I have lived here for a total of 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. I've lived 10 years already in the U.S. Half of that I was in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, so here in Massachusetts, most of the part that I'm here, I've lived in Malden.
Okay.
This is my home.
And where were you born?
I was born in the Philippines.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, what part of the Philippines?
Manila.
Manila. You've been
Manila girl.
Luzon.
Luzon, yes.
That's right. Okay. And it's great to see all the young people here.
Yes.
That they're gonna learn along with the rest of us.
Yep, that's right.
What do you do outside of helping to organize activities like this?
So I am a physical therapist by profession. At current, I'm not practicing, but I work in Boston Children's Hospital neurology department.
Okay.
Yep. Kids, little ones. It's something
helping to mold those little ones.
Helping to mold those little ones, give them the best potential that they can have. In this world, you just wanted that for them.
Okay.
Even though they have disability, they have illnesses, you wanted them to reach their full potential.
That's right. Well, that's great. Well, this is going to be a great celebration.
It is.
And I'm looking forward to learning more about what's going on here.
Do you know any Tagalog word?
No, but help me with that.
All right. Well, the most basic is mabuhay. That is basic.
Mabuhay.
There you go. That's basically how you say aloha, hello, welcome. So you say mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
There you go.
Mabuhay.
You're a fast learner.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
How do you say thank you?
Salamat.
Salamas.
Salamat with a T.
Salamat.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Mabuhay.
Mabuhay and salamat. Thank you.
Mas Lorna.
Very nice to talk with you.
Nice to
Take care.
Well, we do have a lot of other things coming on. We're doing a little bit of switching back and forth. So what I'd like to do, I know the program calls for a 7:05 showcase of the Sarah Manok artworks. But if anybody has Sarah Manok artworks, we'd like to call them forward now. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I'm remiss. I'd like to introduce Rowena Jimenez, who'd like to give us a speech here too. Rowena, please.
This is Rowena Jimenez. First off, I'd like to thank the mayor for gracing us with this visit today, and thank you also to Christine Bautista, the founder of PhilFest Malden. So I don't have much time to talk about my organization, but what we do, so we co-hosted the PhilFest this year because our mission is engagement. So PRB, Pinoy Reading Buddies, is all about engagement. So we want you to come here not just to be spectators, but also participants as well in terms of learning about the Filipino culture. So we are a non-profit organization that promotes engagement as well in the Philippines. We're trying to get teachers to learn strategies on how to teach reading and writing in such a way that the children are learning skills to read and write to promote social change. So this is not just about literacy, but literacy for change. And we used to just send books from America, from here in Malden mostly, but it has become very clear that sending books written by Americans really take away from the children in the Philippines learning about their identity, learning about their culture, and learning and becoming aware about their social situation. So we no longer want to just do that. We use the books to supplement what we are hoping to be a collection of books written by the children themselves. So that's the direction we're taking. We are getting the children to write about their experiences, their history, their culture, and PRB's job is to get this published and shared with schools around the world, especially in the US. So this coming summer, we have a ton of workshops for teachers to get them to get their kids to write stories in a participative way. So now we're going to present the Sari Manok. So I'm calling on Rosie Siegel, who's a board member of Pinoy Reading Buddies. So Rosie, come on, she's going to talk about a brief background of Sari Manok. Thank you so much.
Hello. Good afternoon, Malden. I have never seen such a crowd, and I am proud to be part of this festivity. Thank you, Malden. So the first thing that I want to ask you is that you know our national symbol? Can somebody out there in the audience tell me what is the national symbol of the Philippines? Does take a shot? Hint. I hear someone there. Sari Manok. Sari Manok is only one of the symbols of the Philippines. Just like in Massachusetts. Do you know what's the symbol of Massachusetts? Animal symbol. Come on guys, we're from Massachusetts. Chicken? Chickadee. Chickadee. But in the town of Marblehead, the fish of cod is the symbol of Massachusetts. Okay? So this is the same concept. We have this beautiful animal that is part of national identity of the Philippines. Now, I would like to just give you a little bit of the background. It's really from the Marao, the southern part of Mindanao, the southern part of the Philippines. So without fully telling you the story, it's about a love story where a princess was taken away by a manok, and of course taken to the moon. And of course, the father, who was a Raja, was so heartbroken. He carved an image of the Sari manok to remind him of his beloved daughter Sari. But without ado, we want to tell you our Sari manok. At the corner over there, we have arts and crafts for the kids. You can make this and take home with you. This is a homage to the Philippines, and every kid should be able to do this, and we will give you additional raffle tickets. So any kids who want to do this, we still open the booth. So let me give you some of the Sari manoks that we made. Come on. There are more kids actually doing this, and they don't want to get away from the table, but I want to introduce you to this very brave young lady who wants to do this and show it off. What's your name?
Sophia.
Sophia says, I want to parade and show them the good work that they're doing. Thank you, Filipino Festival Mountain. And this is the Sari manok. Good? Yeah, so anyway, Sophia and I, his father, want to say, thank you.
Thank you.
Marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Rosie. And thank you right there. That's a lot of spirit right there. I appreciate that. All right, now our next performance is going to be a special dance performance by the Filipino Festival volunteers. How special is that? It's called a Cypher dance group from Malden High School. So, are you guys ready to roll? You're shaking your head like you're ready to roll. You guys ready to hear them? Or see them? Or do their thing, ladies and gentlemen. Cypher dance group.
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로드라마 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다 우리가 만든 love scenario 이젠 조명이 꺼지고 마지막 페이지를 넘기면 조용히 괜찮지만은 않아 이별을 마주한다는 건 오늘이었던 우리의 어제 또는 내일이 없다는 건 아프긴 해도 더 끝없음 상처가 더 나니까 널 사랑했고 사랑받았으니 난 이걸로 됐어 나 살아가면서 가끔씩 떠오를 기억 그 안에 네가 있다면 그거면 충분해
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로드라마 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다
우리가 만든 love scenario 이젠 조명이 꺼지고 마지막 페이지를 넘기면 조용히 갈비뼈 사이사이가 지릿지릿한 느낌 나 사랑받고 있음을 알게 해주는 노래 너에게 참 많이도 배웠다 반쪽은 채웠다 과거로 두기엔 너무 소중한 사람이었다 나 살아가면서 가끔씩 떠오를 기억 그 안에 네가 있다면 그거면 충분해
사랑을 했다 우리가 만나 지우지 못할 추억이 됐다 볼만한 멜로드라마 괜찮은 결말 그거면 됐다 널 사랑했다
네가 벌써 그립지만 그리워하지 않으려 해 한편의 영화 따스했던 봄으로 너를 기억할게 우리가 만든 love scenario 이젠 조명이 꺼지고 마지막 사랑했다.
Thank you very much. These guys are awesome. Walden High School and they're volunteers. So give another round of applause. Volunteers. Woo! All right, let me see if and raise the hands here because this is a good group here. How many people here have ever volunteered for anything? Throw your hands up. Come on, everybody's got their hands up. You know you volunteered because if you haven't volunteered yet, I'm going to need your help cleaning up later. Thanks. Actually, next I'm going to call up is the authentic Southeast Asian martial arts, Mari. They specify in Filipino, Indonesian, and Chinese disciplines. And I've seen these guys perform so many different places, so many different times. May and Mike Williams, where are you? Get your group together because they have so much passion for the different types of Asian martial arts that it lifts my heart. I feel like I'm supposed to be able to be the karate guy myself. So, May, Mike, you coming? There you go. You're going to see them all come up here. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. They're going to do some different, if you will, demonstrations. So here we are, the martial arts. Come on in. But they're going to give us an Arnis demonstration. And as you can tell, this group goes young to old. So everybody out there that I see could potentially be interested enough to participate next time around. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Williams.
Hello, thank you so much for having us here today at the Filipino Cultural Festival. So we do a lot of different Southeast Asian arts. We've been in the area teaching for over 30 years. We've traveled all over Indonesia, the Philippines. We actually taught in Thailand. We've been invited to teach there. We've been doing this arts for a long time. So we try to do the old cultural arts in Southeast Asia. Some of our teachers were alive pre-World War II. Just tremendous experiences that we got to find these old arts. A couple things ago, again, I'll explain about this. Filipino martial arts, the general term they use is Arnis, Kali, or Eskrima. It covers a wide spread of martial arts, from the weaponry, from stick work to blade work, to the empty hand, what they call sometimes Pendentukin, Pendenjackman, or Sikaran, or we call it Pukusipa, which is the kickboxing, Mano a Mano, which is the close combat, the Dumog, which is the grappling. But the weapons are very unique the way they do the different types of weaponry. Today the sport Arnis in the Philippines, or they call Philippine Arnis, which they use today as a sport. But we try to go to villages and learn the old styles from the old teachers. Some of the teachers that we specialize in come from my wife's island in Negros. She's from the Visayan area of Negros. One of our teachers is from Talisay. He's going to be here actually next month. He's traveling around the U.S. teaching right now. I think he's in California right now. He does the Kini Tertius Radis Kali, Grandmaster Jason Nene Tortao. Another one of our teachers that passed away, the late Grandmaster Remy Priestley, he did the modern Arnis system. He had the biggest Filipino martial art organization in the world before he passed away. Another one of our teachers from Ace Village that passed away, the late Grandmaster Abraham Gubaton, and he does the Wida de Caparato Arnis system. We also do different styles of Chinese Kung Dao. Chinese Kung Dao is very unique. It's a southern dialect from China that means fist way. And a lot of that, during certain time periods when they couldn't practice Kung Fu in China, they migrate out to Southeast Asia. So the merchants brought Kung Dao into the Philippines, into Indonesia, Malaysia, and it's an old Chinese style martial art. Then we do different styles of Indonesian silat. We do a style called Kendong from West Java, and then we do the Harimau we demonstrate today, which is from West Sumatra, Indonesia. That's a tiger style of silat. Silat's the old style of the Malay arts from Southeast Asia. In the southern Philippines, in Mindanao, in that area, they would do silat. They would Kung Dao silat, the old style. But our style comes from West Sumatra that we demonstrate. Our teacher from Indonesia is hired by the government to teach Pencak silat in Indonesia. He's hired as one of the head grandmasters for the Sumatran styles. He had a few students recently that made the movies The Raids, Raid 1, Raid 2, and they have a lot of unique weapons. I'll explain a little bit about that. I brought some unique weapons over. Everybody knows over 7,000 islands in the Philippines, but split them in 3 good categories. Mindanao being the south, and this is a real world crush in the southern Philippines, and from Sulu. The famous Bali song from Pantangas in the northern Philippines, and they have the small ones. This is the medium size. I have one that's even bigger. Very unique blade. And this one is from my wife's area in Negros. This is a small one, but this is called a gadunting. And a lot of times they'll be sharp in the back and they'll be sharp down the front. And when they use this with the Sinawali, the double sticks, it cuts like the scissors almost, the way it makes the cuts. This here is a unique blade. This is getting more popular in America, but it originates from the tribes of Sumatra, the Minangkabau tribes, the Harimau people that we train with. It's called a karembit, and it's supposed to be shaped like the tiger claw blade. It's a pretty nasty blade. In the Philippines, they call sungut a lugut, the old coconut knife. But May's father and some of the old timers that we train with called it rembit. He had an old term for it, rembit. Another one we have here is called the renchon. This is from Aceh, northern Sumatra. They use it a lot of different ways, but the way that is unique is they would hold it in their toes and fight with a blade like this. So, very unique blade, the renchon. Those sticks that we train with are called rattan. They splinter before they fall apart, so it's nice to train with those. But some of the combat sticks they use, this one's a hardwood called kamagong, the ironwood in the Philippines. This one's called bahi, another strong wood, and they have the blade shape, so not to get too graphic, but the blade shape helps us keep the blade line, but also cracks bone when it makes contact. This one's unique from the Weedo system, and this is made out of coffee, the coffee wood. It's a very unique system. This one here. All right, so we'll get demonstrating in a minute. Oh, you get this on, May? So you got it? So this is it's a newer crisp, but we have some older ones we have at the school. We have some blades going over 500 years old from the Measure Pi Empire made out of meteorite. But this is again unique crisp from in and out. Okay, so we'll get demonstrating in a minute. So when we do stick work, we'll touch sticks together so we don't hurt each other. But generally in Filipino martial arts, they didn't like the block. Not that it wasn't the method, but they want to cause you pain right away and stop you. So they would hit you right away. They would not block. This defense would be the footwork, and they would constantly attack. So what do we do first, mate? Filipino? Here we go. Okay. So you can see some of the silat. This is again from Indonesia, West Sumatra. But in the southern Philippines, the Moros would do silat. Silat is huge in Southeast Asia. You'll see silat in Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei, southern parts of Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia. Silat is a very unique art, and it's through all of Southeast Asia. Again, the one we're doing is called Harimau Punjak Silat from the Minangkabau, West Sumatran area, Pasaman. That was where my teacher was from. Very unique art. This is one of the probably the hardcore arts coming out of Indonesia. The Sumatran Silat, the Harimau, the tiger style. Last tigers in Indonesia are the Sumatran tigers. So they're going to demonstrate the kudas, the basic stances. They're called kuda kuda. Harimau! Pass him on! Go! So this is a duro. This is a series of exercises like a kata or a hyam, right? If you do other martial arts, duro is what they use in Indonesia for form. Philippines, they do anios, we'll do those next, but this is a set duro, harimau duro. Harimau! Pasaman! Blanca Tiga. Blanca's footwork. Tiga's number 3. Demonstrate one of the honeymoon techniques. So we're going to demonstrate some of the Kung Dao. So again, anything like in America, we know Chinese martial arts as Kung Fu, but in Southeast Asia, it got known as Kung Dao. Again, it's a Pekingese dialect from southern China that means fist away. Kung Fu actually just means well-trained. Anything you're well-trained in is Kung Fu. Classical terms in China would be Chuan Fa, Wushu, or Kung Dao. That's an old term that was used. This is a Chong Tong form from kind of a northern Chinese influence. It's an old, short form, but very powerful form. They do arm pine, so short set. Okay, next technique. He did the block strikes direct position, and the jump front kick they did in the end, he used that for the throw, not for a kick. So this is a set that comes from the double six, a Sinawoi. It's a basic set that helps in mano a mano. So it's a basic set where they slap the punch or pull the punch or hit or cover. And what they do is they get to the point where they can just randomly punch him in the face and they're right on. From a Filipino martial arts, the mano a mano we just demonstrated. Next. Alright, so this is the Sinawali set, the double six. They're going to demonstrate. Kali! So the Sinawai set they did for solo, and now they do it two-person. It's a classical set, and a lot of Filipino martial arts sometimes will do the weapons first and then translate to the end later. Okay, so this is Nika art. I'm going to demonstrate next. This is the baston idaga. Sometimes they call it espada idaga or bolo idaga. So it would be a long blade, short blade, but we'll do it with the baston today. And this is Anil Tatlong. This is one of the short forms. This is a drill for the Korende from Indonesia. This is some of the Filipino pukusipa, the kickboxing. So sige na medyo Philippine Valley song. Last one we'll do real quick. This is from Kundawa, Chinese martial arts. We do another system that's called Pinsan Wing Chun Kung Fu. We demonstrate some of the Chi Sao. So we're going to let them bow up. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Try to show a different element of these arts. Some of these arts are very rare. Some of the old masters have passed away. So we're trying to preserve these old styles that were, were really made for, just unique combat experiences that these old timers went through throughout the islands and things that happened. So a very unique styles of martial arts. Thank you. Isa, dua, talo, apat, mare.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that is the Martial Arts Research Institute. Mike May Williams, an incredible group. Dedication extraordinaire. So round of applause for them. Huh? That's a great sized group and they did great out here today. But I'm glad you guys are still there because you know what? I'm going to introduce the next performers. And the next performers actually got inspiration from you guys. I'm going to bring back out here Escuela Hung Filipino. They're going to do the Sinawali. And there are some of the basic Arnese moves that they learned right here from this group right here. So here you're going to see a kind of a marriage of different organizations and how they can blossom. Escuela Hung Filipino, ladies and gentlemen.
Waray-waray, hindi tatakas. Waray-waray, handang matodas. Waray-waray, bahala bukas. Waray-waray, manigas. Waray-waray, tawag sa akon, sa bakbakan. Diri mag-urong, sa sino man ay humahamon. Kahit ikaw ay maton, likas sa ating paraluman. Kiming palagi mapagbigay, ngunit iba ang waray-waray. Walang sindak kanino man. Kaming babaeng waray-waray ay siga-siga kahit saan, pagkat kami ay lumalaban. Kapag hinamon ang away, waray-waray, hindi tatakas. Waray-waray, handang matodas. waray-waray, bahala bukas, waray-waray, manigas. Waray-waray sadyang di tatakas, waray-waray handa ng matodas, waray-waray bahala na bukas, waray-waray manigas. Waray-waray sadyang di tatakas, waray-waray handa ng matodas, waray-waray bahala na bukas, waray-waray manigas. Likas sa ating paraluman, kiming palagi mapagbigay. Ngunit iba ang waray-waray, walang sintak kanino man. Kaming babaeng waray-waray ay siga-siga kahit saan, pagkat kami ay lumalaban. Kapag hinamon ng away, waray-waray, hindi tatakas, waray-waray, handang matodas, waray-waray, bahala bukas, waray-waray, manigas.
Thank you, Eskwelahang Filipino. Thank you, Martial Arts Research Institute. I love how everything comes together. And I'll explain to some of the kids who are looking, combat arts, performing arts, but it's all good. It's all in the same spirit. And on that note, I've got another group here, the School Om Young Do, Grandmaster Iron Kim style. And they will also regale us with their martial arts skills. Ladies and gentlemen, Om Young Do. Thanks again. That was an incredible performance and skills I could never achieve. And you know that they must kick it on the dance floor too, huh? But you know what? I want you guys to get ready because guess what time it is? You guys have been invested in raffle tickets. It's raffle ticket time. So if you got your raffle tickets, pull them out and you're gonna see who's gonna win. Because some of the folks, they got fed and they fled. But to those who stayed, you get to play. So get your raffle tickets out.
Ticket. All right, no name, but ticket number 833038. 833038. Going once. Going twice. Okay, we'll switch to the next one. Yes. All right, Wegmans again. No name. 833049. 833049. Check your tickets. Going once. Going twice. All right. All right, we have a winner with the name at the back. Melissa Tan. 833063, Melissa Tan. Congratulations. So if you want to get to buy tickets, just approach the front. We have more tickets available. First winning raffle ticket. Presentation of Nahan, a kundiman performed by Mikiko Sati. She's from Berklee College of Music. Original song composition, The Way You... No, okay. So, Berklee College of Music, Mikiko Sati.
Hi everyone, I am Mikiko from Japan. I came to USA last year, and I like Filipino people. Filipino people is always kind, and I'm so honored to be seen here. And it will be my first time to sing the Tatlong. It calls Nahan. It's kind of love song. I hope you enjoy. Sabi mo'y kay ganda naglahat. Kulay rosas pa ang mga bulaklak. Tila sa akin ay ayaw kang magtangka. Yan ba ang sabi mo? Pag-ibig ay wagas. Ang iyong ngiti dati ay kay tamis. Pag-ika'y at ako ang nakakarapin. Nahalaya ka mo dati ay mahigpit. At ang liyaga mo tayo
Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up again for Makiko. She just, right from the heart, she's Berkeley's student. And I'll tell you what, Berkeley School of Music has produced so many people that give back to the different organizations in a nonprofit way. So from my heart and from my ears, thank you, Berkeley School of Music. All right, and now we got another original song composition called The Way You Do, performed by Lex and AJ Jimenez. So they're gonna come back on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, Lex and AJ Jimenez.
Hey everyone, if you weren't here for our performance earlier, I'm AJ and this is my sister Lex. And we're gonna be doing a song that I wrote called The Way You Do, and it's about how God created you the way you are, so just live life the way you do.
You tell yourself you're not enough, you just don't deserve love. You're imperfect, you are not worth it. You have got too many flaws, so many things that are just wrong.
Before, we've got another performance coming on with Tinikling that's going to be interactive. Interactive Tinikling, so I'm calling everybody out who thinks they know how to dance. But before I do that, I know we have a lot of raffle tickets we still got to do. Raffle tickets. So if you have your red raffle tickets, let's get ready for some raffle calling. We'll be as quick as we can. If everybody gets their raffle tickets out, because I don't want to all of a sudden call the next person and have the last person lose out. Christina, where you at? I want to make sure we get everything properly quantified for these. All right, for the next one we're going to pull out here, this says, what's it say, modern Asian cuisine. Who wants modern Asian cuisine? Everybody's going to have enough, because I can use some food. You got your red tickets ready? Nicole, you're going to call out the numbers. What do you got?
Okay, so, Fabian Zhu, XU, Fabian XU.
Fabian? How about if I give Fabian's number, or what is it? I'll just call out the last 3 digits. 412. Fabian at 412. Anybody know Fabian? Does anybody have 833-412? Fabian going once. Fabian going twice. 833-412. Going for the last call. Hey, there we go. Congratulations. Let's see. 833-412. 833-4. We got a winner, and you get the modern Asian cuisine. Very nice. Congratulations. We'll check in with you. We'll get your name and all that good stuff. There we go.
I'll go for the number. Okay, so it's 833-129. 833-129.
129. Come on, who's got 129? It's easy. The last 3 digits. 129. Someone's jumping up and down. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Uh-oh, wait a second. What? You got it again. Good for you. Look at that. It's all good. Lightning strikes twice. Lightning strikes twice. There's a monopoly going on here. That should make everybody else a little more jealous. Check your numbers. What do we got this time? We're going to get on to the performance because I know that, we got the interactive portion, but it's going to be Hoi Pinoy first. Hoi Pinoy, where you at? You guys ready? Where's my Hoi Pinoy guys? They are ready. They're going to do their Tinikling. The bamboo dance that you might have seen is kind of the national dance. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Hoi Pinoy doing Tinikling. some interactive. Everybody saw, this is the Tatlong, this is the Philippine national dance. I want to see, even if it's just the kids, and parents, feel free to push your kids up here. Let's get some participants up here. We want to see how hard this is. We want to see the budding stars that are going to come out from the Malden area. Come on, let's get our Malden area Tatlong kids up here, or adults, anybody you want. And they'll do the clapping and the kids will do the dancing. Because you know what? We're going to give thanks to Hoi Pinoy, but I want the kids back out here because we're going to have a SIPA demonstration. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, Hoi Pinoy. Woo! Thank you very much. Rosie Sigil, can I call Rosie to the front, please? Ate Rosie, we need your SIPA skills. And all you kids who are out there dancing, you guys get ready for the SIPA now. We need you as props, right? Give it up for the kids that keep on volunteering out here, huh? That's all about the kids.
Hello. So I just want to give you a little bit of a history about SIPA. Does anybody know about SIPA? Raise your hands if you know the game SIPA. Lovely. Yeah. So there's only a handful of hands, right? Yeah. Up until 2009, the national sports of the Philippines was actually SIPA. By 2009, Macapagal Arroyo, the president then, declared that Arnis now was, is the national sports of the Philippines. But it used to be SIPA. So what is great about SIPA, I just want to be very, very quick, It's really indigenous. That means it's Filipino. It's not Spanish influence. It's not Chinese or it's not American. It's really predated the Spanish colonization. And what's great about SIPA, it's very affordable because we Filipinos are very, ingenious in terms of this. We can use anything. bamboo. We use newspaper. We use cellophane. We use yarn. We can also use the new version, which has a feather that actually bounce back. You know, the original of this is actually in the Malay region. So if you go to Thailand, if you go to Malaysia, they call this sipak now. Anyone familiar with that? Yeah. But in the Philippines, this is actually a very democratic game, because every people in the barrios, in the underserved community, can afford to make sipa. Now, who among you would like to demonstrate sipa? It's okay if you don't. It's all right. So just, I'm gonna be brave and and actually do this. Okay? I used to do this, but I'm really now a mother and in my 40s, so it's hard. But let me just show you how it is. Does anybody know how to play this? It's a solitary, it's a solitary game. You can do it by yourself, with two friends, with a group of friends, or with like a number of people, like 12 people. So to make it, just to show you, okay? So in the Philippines, we have this tradition. If you are lalaki, mga lalaki, they say that you have to sipa it inside your foot. Pag babae, paano? I want to call that woman over there. Come on in here. Come on. Yay! We'll give her more raffle tickets right here. Can you just show me? We don't have to do this. Show me how the women do it. See? It's outside the foot, whereas the man is like this. Yeah. Which is, it's an advantage for guys, di ba? Kasi ang hirap nito eh. Di ba? Oo. Ang lalaki, madali. I'm sorry, I'm speaking in Tagalog. So would you like to try it in the woman's way, and I will try the guy's way? Yeah, try it. 1, 2, yay! And I will try the guy's version in my high heels. Dennis is rocking it. I want the girl right here. Yeah, try it. Anyone? Whoa! You did? What? This lady here, let's give her a big hand. 5 tries. Yay! Yeah. We're going to give you a good round. If you want this sipa, you can come and, at the corner right there, and we have a little bit of extra raffle tickets for you and sipa, okay? Maybe an extra one. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie, and thank you for all our sipa kids here. Look at that. I love volunteers. I know, because I like volunteering myself. So everybody has a volunteer spirit, ooh-ah to you. Now, if I could call forward from East Boston Savings Bank, Isabel. Isabel, come on out here. She has something that she'd like to talk about regarding anybody who feels lucky. Thank you very much, Isabel, and thank you very much, East Boston Savings Bank. And tell you what, before I forget this, everybody that's left here, get a load of this. When you post your pictures on social media, here's what I'm gonna request for you to do. Hashtag PhilFestMalden 2018. Hashtag FILFEST Malden 2018. Why? AT&T booth over there. Give it up to AT&T booth. I think we're gonna get some exposures that way. So make sure. Hashtag PhilFestMalden 2018 on all your posts. And now we only have 2 more raffles to go through. I'm gonna start out with, well, we said a tattoo, body piercing, and henna. Why don't you pick the number?
Lucky winner, Jenna Sigil.
Is that Jenna's booth over there? Is that why you're all yelling? Is Jenna here? Yes, she is. Give her up a Jenna. Woo! We've got a winner. Come on down, Jenna. You're coming with post haste. Congratulations. Congratulations. We got Dairy Delight Moonlicious. Dairy Delight Moonlicious. I want to win this.
No name. 833437. Oh, you're such. It's your lucky day today. That's for me. That's for you.
Very nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. Now, I would be amiss if I didn't say thank you to Sal right there, capturing everything on video. Tyrone over here dealing with all the challenges and getting the audio straight. Kristen, my co-MC K. Christoph, the photographer. Everybody that's here, everybody that had a booth, everybody that's still here smiling. Daghan Salamat, thank you 1,000 times over. I know you want to do a closing. Don't forget, hashtag PhilFestMalden 2018. Tag all your pictures.
Yes. All those who are here, please take a picture of yourself, like a selfie or a groupie, and then use the hashtag PhilFest. It's FILFEST Malden 2018, and you'll get a special prize from AT&T.
Thank you, Kristen. And if you guys want, let me hear it. Do you guys want to see this happen in 2019?
It's not for sale.
Yes? We'll do it again. We'll do it every time. Thanks to everybody that has all the patience to stay here, all the appetite to help eat all the food, and of course all the energy to clean up. Woo! Oh, Nicole won over there in AT&T with the hashtag. So Nicole, who was out here so many times with a microphone, also won. So we all win. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Until next year.